Tonight, a Tyler doctor is accused of sexually assaulting 4 patients, including a child. 54-year-old Kenneth Haygood was arrested yesterday on 3 charges of sexual assault and 1 charge of aggravated sexual assault of a child. And a warning, some of this may be hard to hear. This is where Kenneth Haygood practiced medicine. Arrest affidavits allege the first incident happened back in 2007. A woman claims the doctor sexually assaulted her during an appointment when she was just 8 years old, saying she delayed reporting it until after hearing about his medical license suspension last year because of anxiety. 3 other patients claim their sexual assaults happened during appointments in 2017 or 2018, one saying the doctor also performed unwarranted pelvic exams, while another claims the doctor had a camera installed at her home. Haygood was restricted from treating female patients last June, and his medical license was suspended fully in October.